What's happening? Oh, fuck. What's happening? The Big Rob Theory, again, coming to you, bringing you another DCEU movie review. And today I'm going to be reviewing for you Justice League. So to start things off, I do see where people don't really like this movie. I like this movie a lot, actually. Probably a lot more than a lot of people. I mean, I'm a DC fiend, so what can you say? I do see why people would hate this movie, just because some of the acting is a little off. The story and plot is very rushed. Personally, just reading the comics and then going and seeing this movie, the movie definitely excludes quite a bit from the comics. I get it. The DCEU is kind of behind Marvel, and they kind of went the reverse of what they did. So, give you a little pass there. But basically, this plot, without spoiling anything for you, this plot, it's basically there's something coming to Earth, and Batman is the first one to realize it. So he realizes that, well, can't do this alone. So he tries to gather a team together. And if you have seen Batman vs. Superman, well, this is a tiny spoiler, but Superman is no longer amongst the land of the living. That's kind of, in essence, what's going on in this movie. They're trying to restore order and bring back Superman to help with this threat. So, in regards to the tone of the movie, overall, it's kind of a brooding tone, if you will. And I would say that's mainly in part to Ray Fisher's Cyborg. And I'm sorry, why does this man need to be brooding the whole movie? If you see this movie, which I hope you do, you'll realize that, like, Cyborg, out of all the characters, especially even Batman, who is the most brooding of the superheroes, Cyborg's just there, like...
Victor, you're not stuck up here. If you stay up here brooding...
I'm processing.
Dude, you were a football star and, some things happened and you got screwed up. This movie, he is like nothing like how he is in the comics. For those of you who don't know, Cyborg in the comics with the Teen Titans and with the Justice League too, he is so lighthearted and he makes jokes constantly. And in this movie, you don't see that at all until maybe the end. so I don't get why they went in that direction, but to each their own. You've got your Gal Gadot, which I'm sorry, in my Wonder Woman review I did not say her name correctly, so I apologize for that. If you haven't seen my Wonder Woman review, please don't go and check that out. Ben Affleck, as I said in Batman vs. Superman, played a really, really good older Batman. You see it even more in this Justice League movie. He, at certain points when he's fighting, he kind of, after the fight, he's a little more winded, to say the least, than how other people would be, or like a younger Batman would be. It sucks that he did retire as Batman, but what can you do? Again, things happen. Ezra Miller as Flash. I am not gonna lie to you, I hated that man for a while as Flash. I kept telling people, oh no, Grant Gustin needs to be Flash. I know that there's this thing between the TV and movies that you can't really have TV actors being movie actors and vice versa. I was hating on Ezra Miller for so long. And after I really, truly, and deeply watched Justice League, like sat through and took notes and really paid attention to people's performances, Ezra Miller is a pretty damn good Flash, Isn't a real spoiler, so there's a scene in the movie between Batman and Flash where you truly feel the genuine chemistry between the two characters. That's when I really realized that I loved Ezra Miller as Flash, because in that scene you really get the whole Barry Allen and Flash character together that you kind of see in the comics, but this is in the cinematic universe. So it's nice that the writers and Ezra Miller kind of put that into the movie.
Brunch, like, what is brunch? You wait in line for an hour for essentially lunch. I don't know. People are a little slow.
I'll try to keep up.
Can I keep this?
Jason Momoa. Oh my God. Jason Momoa as Aquaman is the greatest thing that the DCEU could have done. If you haven't seen Aquaman 2, I'm going to be doing a review for that. Jason Momoa, Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones. It's a great Aquaman, as I said. And he definitely adds a great essence to this movie that if he wasn't in it, might have been a lot worse. I just sound like a fanboy, but if you talk to some other people and see some other reviews, they might agree as well. Without Jason Momoa in this movie, and of course, other characters, Batman and Flash, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, even, and Superman, you'll see that this movie would have been garbaggio. Jeremy Irons, man, that man is a great actor, and I think that they couldn't have picked a better Alfred for this movie. His little witty remarks, especially about Bruce and Diana, I love this man. Some other people who are in this movie that have been in like the previous DCEU movies: Amy Adams as Lois Lane, Connie Nielsen as Queen Hippolyta, Diane Lane as Martha Kent. Such great performances from both the male and the female roles in this movie. So now we're going to get to some of these action sequences. You've seen in my previous videos, you'll know that your boy loves to see some serious action. The fight scenes in this movie were through the roof. There's a scene especially in this movie where the Justice League, and I put it in quotes because they're not an official Justice League yet. Ooh, excuse me. They get to this part where there's a bunch of hostages, and it's kind of funny to see how they're forming their fight chemistry, if you will. You can see that like some people are prepared for battle, some others aren't, and you just see that like as a group, as a collective, they don't really know how each other fight or how they do in the battlefield yet, but they just go at it anyway. It works for them. That was a very powerful scene for me in particular, because it shows that all these heroes, they come from different places and they have different powers, different ways of doing things, but yet they still meshed well enough to get the job done. So I'm going to get to some of the dislikes of this Justice League movie, which there are a few, but not too many for me that I would say that the movie was trash. So as I said it before, the movie definitely felt rushed. Man, there were just too many things happening all at once sometimes. They just all of a sudden got together, I mean, holy crap. It's an animated movie from 2011 called Justice League War, and that is the most authentic, if you will, connection to the comics as well. It shows how the Justice League truly was formed and how they came together. That's what I was talking about earlier, saying that they left out so much from the actual Justice League comics and the movie, because if you see that movie, which you should, you'll see that there's one, some characters missing, and two, there's several plot sequences missing in this live action Justice League movie. So that I had a problem with, because when you see one of your comic book loves come to life, you definitely will love for it to be as close to the original as possible. Sometimes that just can't happen, so it's all good. Another dislike I have, and I said it earlier, Mr. Cyborg. Why are you so dark, gloomy, and brooding? That is Batman's job, not your job. I don't understand. I get it, his accident, maybe it caused him to, hate the world, hate his dad for what he did to him to bring him back to life. But even in the comics, and in the Teen Titans, where you see him prominently, he's not like that whatsoever. He's part human, so of course there's times where he gets sad, he gets mad, everybody does. But you don't see him being all like, death to the world and death to you, dad, in the comics and stuff. Like, he's, making jokes, and his signature is booyah, you know what I mean? Like, that's, when we hear Cyborg, you hear booyah. Like, that's what I want to hear.
We're gonna say this once. Booyah! Booyah!
What's happening? What we doing? One of my last things is just some plot holes and authenticity holes, if you will, or lack of authenticity, I guess. Again, like the movie Justice League War and the comics and even in the DC Rebirth Justice League, it's still similar to the Justice League War movie. So I just wanted to see them have certain characters in this movie, and I don't think that this is a big spoiler to say this, but for many of you who do know the Justice League and how they formed, and at least like the first battle, that Green Lantern's part of the Justice League. So is Martian Manhunter and Shazam, even in some of the comics. And they are nowhere to be found or even hinted at in this movie. So that was another grievance I had. But again, they're establishing the DCEU, and they're trying to get this thing off the ground, because Marvel this is where Marvel is, and then this is where DCEU is. So, you know, it's kind of like they gotta dish out the content. They gotta get things going. It's not really a big grievance that these characters aren't in the movie, but at the same time, if they were, man, oh man, it wouldn't have even mattered if it was rushed a little bit like that. Bam, we would have been set. Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern from back in the day, that we can go ahead and just, like, you know, not even say that that was a real thing. We can just say that that was a joke. Overall, I'd have to say, if I had to rate this movie, I would give Justice League a 6 to 7 out of 10. The reason why I'm gonna give it a 6 or a 7 is because, again, of the whole plot hole thing, some acting grievances, and just a few things that, like, I, you know, just didn't really find very enticing in the movie, or that it shouldn't have even been in there, and then the lack of things in the movie. But at the same time, again, I did really like this movie. It's just not the strongest of the DCEU films, but I do look forward to whenever they do a sequel of the Justice League. Hopefully by then, we'll have another Green Lantern movie, and Shazam will be incorporated into it. And hopefully by then as well, we'll have a Martian Manhunter movie, or at least a hint of Martian Manhunter, John from Mars. So thank you guys for watching this review. It's nice to see that, you know, that I'm gaining some more subscribers. It really does mean a lot. Like, I'm genuinely passionate about, you know, these things, these comic books, these movies, you know, the whole nerd fandom. It's nice to see that people are actually supporting, they're chiming in, people are giving their genuine thoughts. And hey, if you have a suggestion, if you'd like to see me review something, leave it in the comment section below. You know, give me your thoughts, give me your genuine, true opinions. You know, I love to, you know, connect with you guys, and if you see in my previous reviews and comments, like, I definitely interact with everybody, because it's just nice to have people comment and, you know, stop by the channel and, you know, support and share. So I do appreciate that. I want to give a shout out to the Movie Files YouTube channel. This guy, if you don't know who he is, or you're not subscribed to his channel, go over to his channel right now and subscribe. This man is doing some giveaways for movies. He does a lot of good reviews, and he's pretty funny too. So definitely check out that channel, man. You won't be disappointed. Quentin, Q Reviews, check him out too. He's a funny guy too. There's a lot of good people on YouTube, guys. We just gotta hear him out. Gotta check him out, you know? So the only way we're all gonna thrive is if we support, right? Support. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video. Definitely give me your thoughts. I wanna hear what your thoughts are on the movie. You know, did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you absolutely detest it? You know, did you agree that Cyborg should have been a little more jokey? Just a little bit? Just give me your thoughts, you know? And I look forward to you guys commenting and letting me know what you think. So have a great day, guys, and look forward to the next video.